Fortunately, I've been able to interview 3 out of the 4 of those. I just didn't interview the wife, but I've interviewed the rest. Now, this is Paul Nation, who took the baton from Dr. Baugh and really hasn't put it down. I mean, he's still technically doing this. He's been there at least, I'm thinking 3 times and then 2 more, so maybe 5 times he's been there. With Dr. Baugh, with his son, and later on he went, I think, a couple times by himself. And when he went there, he was blessed and led by God to get our first images of the lights of this creature. What he actually got was this up here, the small lights at the top. I enhanced them, and you could see them here. He said he was, and I really wish he was here. I would just call him up and tell him to show. He lives nearby, and he's an amazing guy. He said that he was looking at this saddle right here, in this area at the base of the saddle, between the hilltops, and he saw a small light, kind of like a little bitty match or a lighter. And it was starting to light. And he's thinking, this is a rainforest. What is that? And then all of a sudden, it was like somebody threw a gallon of gasoline on that match. It just blew up, big, nice, bright light. He said, okay, I'm filming this. He got his video camera and he started like, and then he sees another little match light up. And then, boom, it lights up really big as well. When you slow these video down, it's pulsating at different rates. This one dies out first, and then this one dies out after that. They're not car lights. That's not what car lights do. They don't pulsate at different rates, and they don't shut off at different times. It's not a plane. Actually, these were stationary at the time. He did see others that were flying. Excellent work by Paul Nation. Very, very encouraging to us. Again, not super duper proof to show the world, but real encouraging to us researchers. I want to teach real quick about the nature of shooting stars and meteor showers. Meteor showers come from a point in the sky that rotates with the rest of the stars, so that point in the sky will, for the most part, stick with the constellation. And so when these meteor showers happen throughout the year, they're going to come from a particular point on a particular constellation. If a meteor shower radiates from the Perseus constellation, it would be called the Perseids. If it radiates from the Lyra, it'd be called the Lyrids. If it radiates from Leo, it's called the Leonids. So look at the Lyrids in this case. Look at how perfectly radiating that cameraman was able to set his camera up and click it on and leave it on throughout the night and watch various shooting stars shooting by right at him in all directions. So one of the conclusions you can come very quickly when you're looking at shooting stars is if they're ever going towards each other in any way, they have to be coming from different radiants. They can't come from the same meteor shower. You'd never expect from the same meteor shower to see something like this. It just isn't going to happen. So I'm talking with one of my fellow researchers, Scott Norman, who died shortly months after this. But thank God, he was an experienced cryptozoologist who had already been to Africa looking for Mokele mbembe, the sauropod dinosaur. He had been to South America and other places to look for various cryptids. And he was a Christian. I thought, this is the kind of guy I need. He knows the basics of field research. So I took him out, and we kind of showed up together in this location in the United States. We are now formally able to declare to everybody that we are doing research in the United States. It's not just Papua New Guinea. That taught us all kinds of things that we were able to apply here, and because of that, it's come to light that they're here. So we don't have to, it's much more research friendly, it's closer, it's less expensive, all kinds of great things. We're not going to have to get import licenses, etc. So I see out of nowhere, I'm just looking up, and about 30 feet in front of me, I don't know, I might have wrote it down, it's very close, so 30 feet or so in front of me, a big long 15-foot bioluminescent trail like a meteor The girth of it was about 6 inches, Dr. Bach. It was amazing, and it was bright. And I just got shocked. So I saw this. It was going to my left. It was up there, going left. And I whipped around. I said, Scott, you're not going to believe what I just saw. This thing was huge. It was going this way. And then his face lights up with the same hue of light that I just saw. I said, what did you just see? He says, I saw. No, the first words out of his mouth was, that can't be a pterosaur. Denial, right? The first sign and symptom of seeing a pterosaur is the same as having a heart attack. Denial. We've learned to have to deal with that. You have to face it. You have to just call out what you're seeing, whether you believe you're seeing it or not. Just, I saw it. Did anybody else see it? Because I thought I just saw it. Well, I saw what I saw. I explained it to him. His face lights up. He says, that can't be a pterosaur. I said, okay, but what'd you see? He said, I saw this. And which way was that one coming from? The opposite direction. So I saw this. He sees that, seconds apart. Could it have been a radiant from 2 separate meteor showers happening at the identical same moment, where one can fly by and the next, at perfect timing, can fly out right after that? Occam's razor says no. Much more likely that a simple flying creature flew by once, turned around, and flew by again. That's just much more obvious possible explanation. 2 nights later, this was our skeptic. He was the one most skeptical of all of us. But he said, I saw this. He drew this sketch of it at 2:30 in the morning on July 19th, 2007. It's indelibly in my mind. That was a big day for us. He saw a black flying creature silently fly over his head. This was drawn by Bill Rebsamen. You know him, the wildlife artist, amazing guy, lives in Arkansas. And this is Scott Norman. This is a tribute when Scott Norman died. Bill Rebsamen drew this. He said the wingspan was 10 feet, give or take, 10 feet. The body length was about 6 feet. The body diameter was big, 2 feet body diameter. The neck was a nice sturdy neck, 1 foot. The head crest, 2 feet long in the back. From the tip of the nose to the back of the head crest, 4 feet. 4 feet. And it was only seen from his eyes, maybe 17 feet away. It flew over an 18-foot shed. He was sitting down right at the base of that shed, and it descended over him, went into a field that had a little barn. He watched it veer around the barn, straighten out, and go real low over that field, and then he lost it. Because once it was blended in for terrestrial background. It was not blended in for a sky background at the moment. So when he was looking, because I think this thing's getting ready to come in low, he wants to be blended in. But he doesn't want to be blended in for the sky, right? He's going to go low. That's my theory. And as he comes in, he is so blended in for the background that he just lost him the second he got down to a terrestrial background. Big major sighting.